So progressive rock. Before we consider progressive rock, let's think about rock, right? Just rock music in general. And that's more of a fusion of other forms of music, right? So blues and folk and what else did I write down? Jazz, country, etc. So this makes progressive rock a natural continuation and addition of these new ideas, right? So rock came from those forms of music, kind of a whole,
right,
mishmash and then a development. So progressive rock, let's just consider that. So the origins of progressive rock and how it came to be is quite interesting. And it can be debated back and forth how that happened. Basically, this is what I get. What's true for me is the fact that many American and British, I'm going to take my glasses off, British bands of the 60s, of the early 60s, expanded the vocabulary of pop music to include a variety of instruments, right, and musical styles. Once they began doing this, right around 1965 with the Byrds, like that was the first band that at least I can see or I can read about that really took that idea of pop music, rock, and started becoming much more progressive, much more development. I'll talk about that in a little while. Also, artists like Bob Dylan, what did he do? He plugged it in.
I didn't even know that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And a bit later,
That's
the
cool.
Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's, Magical Mystery Tour, all of a sudden, boom, off to the races. But what really made the difference in my research and my understanding of all this progressive rock music, the conversation, is once the band King Crimson came in,
right,
okay, and bands like the Moody Blues, which we're really going to do on this channel. Notice we've saved a bunch of things for this. Okay.
I think the few songs I know, one or two.
What they did, Kel, just like what you wanted to do, is they took the idea and the experimentation and the vocabulary of what they were doing in the studio, and they can do lots of trickery, right? You can make this sound like this.
Yeah.
What they did, what did they do? They brought it live to a live audience, and the live audience is going, holy shit.
Well, see, the thing is as you're talking and I'm thinking back in the repertoires of my memory, I always thought that Bob Dylan was plugged in. I always thought that the Moody Blues were never anything but what I heard on the radio. I didn't consider until right now that they were never not plugged in. I always assumed everybody was plugged in but me.
Right. Now I'm just going to take a little jog, okay? A little jog. Let's talk about, just for a moment, okay, because this is going to come up. We're going to talk about AOR.
AOR, what's that?
AOR, album-oriented rock, or adult-oriented rock, okay? Now,
how do you know which is which?
Let's not confuse, let me tell you, Kel. Let's not confuse progressive rock with album-oriented rock. Okay, let me just read you this paragraph. This is what I found on ProgressiveRockCentral.com, all right? By Angel Romero, November 13th, 2012. In the last couple of weeks, a new tour by AOR band Asia, who is made of lots of progressive rock giants, have been generating articles that associate the band's music with progressive rock. Naturally, AOR is not progressive rock, but rather a simpler form of rock music. Catchier, tighter, snappier. Even though they're progressive rock musicians, they're making more radio-friendly and more listenable-friendly, not 14, 20, 25-minute, 40-minute overtures.
Right,
okay?
right.
First, the background, and this is quick. AOR is defined as either album-oriented rock or adult-oriented rock. It's a musical genre that surfaced in the late 70s and was popular as a radio format. Major record labels and FM stations loved the genre because songs were short, had pop hooks, and conformed to commercial radio standards, 3 minutes, 15 seconds, etc. While many classic music While many classic rock bands had a blues base, the AOR bands incorporated keyboards, harmonies, and even fantasy artwork, right? Those crazy album covers, especially Asia, appealing to an adult rock audience. Some of the best-known acts include Asia, Foreigner, Boston, Toto, Journey, and even Saga from Canada. Okay, they did On the Loose, as well as recent newcomer Circa. This is 2012. Why does a commercial pop format Why does a commercial pop form of rock get associated with progressive rock? The reason is very simple. Asia was formed by progressive rock musicians who had played in legendary acts like Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Yes, and King Crimson. However, the music they made under Asia had nothing to do with progressive rock. And I mistakenly said that Asia was a progressive rock band because I fell into that little trap. And you can debate this, but this is what I came up with.
How would you know they're not?
They wanted to play simpler music that would appeal to larger audiences and had better chances of getting radio airplay than a fabulous 20-minute music epic.
Which is what you just said.
Another well-known AOR band, Foreigner, also included a former King Crimson member. This led to confusion among some critics and music fans who kept using the term progressive rock whenever they commented on Foreigner, Asia, and other AOR bands. Fast forward to, 2012, fueled by nostalgia. This is what really interested me. This is why I'm bringing this to you guys and to you, Kel. You guys and gals. We're going to get away from the whole guys thing and man.
All of you.
If I ever say that, I apologize. Fueled by nostalgia, many bands from the 1970s and 1980s are reforming, and that's still happening. Those bands are still out there. My comment or question is Yes still playing? And it's like, yeah, they are. Oh, they're doing their farewell tour. They were doing it 40, 50 years. It's time to maybe do something else. I don't know. AOR is dead as a radio format. Commercial radio is a vast wasteland. Now, this is this author's take, okay? Commercial radio is a vast wasteland focused on formulaic hip-hop, pop, and country. Labels and publicists see an opportunity in the progressive rock niche market and refile the AOR bands as progressive rock. So now, press releases go out, and clueless local writers and gullible music fans accept this information as voila, by art of magic, a simplistic form of pop has been transformed into progressive rock. Some lazy bloggers copy and publish the press release as is, therefore perpetuating the incorrect information. We can only hope that music fans and music journalists do a little more research before accepting what is fed to them. Enjoy AOR if you wish, but please don't call it progressive rock. So I thought that was really important to bring to the conversation in honor of this first post, in honor of Larry, in honor of everyone that's joined as first Patreon
Larry, we love you.
Subscribers, patrons. Okay.
And we can't wait to meet your family.
So here's just some more stuff before we play the song Mystery. Okay?
Okay.
Sorry, the band Mystery, the song Pride.
Band Mystery, the song.
Canadian band.
Maple
and
syrup
they're still-
in the veins.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
You've been busy,
what I
man.
want to do is I want to say what progressive rock isn't. It's not as much a genre, but an approach to making music. So it's not so much a genre; it's approach to making music. And I pulled a lot
It's
of
a
these.
method.
You'll see. Yeah, sure.
It's a musical method.
Sure. I pulled this from a couple sources, but specifically from Dennis Ray. He was doing a Seattle Progressive Rock Music Festival, and he did a great interview, and I pulled a lot of this stuff from there. So a lot of this are his words, okay? First of all, progressive rock means many different things to many different people. It's not so much a genre as an approach to making music. So let's consider what it's not. It's not a single thing. It's a mindset, and difficult to characterize. It's more the spirit than the form. It's a desire to go beyond the formulaic. I'm just going to read a couple of these things so we can all kind of start the discussion here and agree with it or don't agree with it, but this is what I've come up with after a bunch of research and really thinking about it over the last couple of weeks. It's a desire and a practice of exercising the imagination. It's a desire to be as good of a musician as you can, not to say that other forms don't. Progressive rock is incredibly broad in its range. It could be rapturously beautiful. It can be dark and sinister. It could be a variety of heavy metal. It can be contemplative and atmospheric. It can incorporate improvisation. It can incorporate noise. It can be loud or delicate or acoustic. Okay? So the truth is, a lot of people think that prog rock disappeared with bands like the early Yes, Moody Blues, Cream, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, King Crimson. But progressive rock never went away. The truth is there are more and different bands and artists working in the area in music today than there ever has been before. Progressive rock is much more globally distributed, and progenitors of progressive rock brought all the power and drama of rock music into what they were doing, but also a level of sophistication that rock music hadn't seen before. So finally, before we get to the music, I really wanted to share this with Kel and you guys.
You're doing a great job.
Well, thanks. I thought this was kind of interesting to really
Thanks.
take a look at
Thanks
it.
for all your research.
Sure. Today, many bands and artists have streamlined the music, not like the AOR bands. Streamlined the music, making it more beefy and muscular and more efficient and economical. Do efficient and economical. What she is doing. But now beefy. So it's a combination of that. That's today. That's prog rock today. That's the movement. Yet, still remaining true to the idea of instrumental virtuosity, adventurousness, improvisation, etc. Question, the woman in the beautiful maroon top and special collar.
Can you please speak this into your phone and type it into a text and post it on the page? Because I would like to read it again. And maybe all of you would like to read it and see what you think. Not that I'm trying to give you more work, but if you could post it on the Patreon channel, that would be great.
For you, Bobby. Yes, my flower. Okay.
Thanks
all right.
for all the research. That was super fun. I
Fun,
want
right?
to read that again.
Yes.
Just
What
not
is
right
progressive
now.
rock? What isn't it? And where is AOR? Okay. All right, here we go. So let's share the screen first. This is the band Mystery. And Mystery, I need to say this, Canadian guitarist, producer Michael St. Pierre took form in 1986 as a 6-member outfit.
Michael St. Pierre.
Yeah.
Not Pierre.
Correct,
Pierre.
correct. They released a self-titled album in 1992 that generated quite some interest across Canada. Unfortunately, a year later, this is interesting, their drummer, Stéphane Perrault, lost the use of both legs, but his strong determination and passion for his craft inspired him with a new and unique approach to drumming. He became one of the first drummers to play from a wheelchair without the help of any pre-programmed sequences.
Wow.
Yeah.
How would you...
Well, that's just, it's a mystery. Oh, sorry, let me take this away. Sorry about that, guys. In 1995, St. Pierre formed label Unicorn Records, under which the band released a second album titled Theater of the Mind, and which boasted airplay both in North America and Europe. In 1998, they released their last and most progressive album to date titled Destiny, which featured 6 guest musicians. In 2000, a compilation CD was released that marked the end of a chapter in the band's history, as it also featured their vocalist and longtime buddy Gary Savoy, who has now left the band. Last paragraph, and we'll get to the music. Over the years, Mystery's style has evolved from AOR, that's why I started researching, Styx, Asia, etc., to more adventurous art rock like Rush and Saga, but featuring delicate acoustic passages not normally heard from these two. Their music is based on St. Pierre's guitar play, which is well executed yet appropriately restrained, while the keyboards remain in the background. Mystery won't dazzle you with technical prowess, but you will appreciate their strong melodies, outstanding vocals. Gary Savoy is often compared to Journey's Steve Perry. Elegant arrangements and attention to detail. The compilation CD, At the Dawn of a New Millennium, is made up of remastered tracks of 3 albums and is a fairly good sampler of the repertoire for those wanting to get acquainted with the band. Recommended to fans of Saga, Kansas, Journey, Rush, and to fans of melodic rock in general. The lead singer, Benoit David, actually, he's not the lead singer anymore. He took over for John Anderson of Yes in 2011, I believe, when John Anderson went down with a respiratory problem. So Benoit, the former singer, he left the band here. Former singer of Mystery took over for Yes, and then ironically, he had to leave Yes because of a respiratory problem as well. And then he pretty much left. He's on a break from music at this point. So this is Benoit singing. I haven't heard the song.
Great.
There we go. So there's your background.
Thank you for all your research.
There's
That's
your background.
Awesome. We should definitely keep track of this on the channel, because I think it's fantastic that you've gone to all this effort.
You got it, Angel. For you, anything. And for these first members of our channel, anything for you guys. Way to go. Way to jump in. All right, here we go. Mystery. Pride.
I love it.
Sounds just like Geddy Lee.
This is awesome.
It's okay, it's just a glitch on YouTube. Beautiful.
This is great.
From the album The World is a Game, 2012.
Once the father figure dies, leaves the mother figure crying, alone in the dark, a child tries to hold on to his bride. Bring down the walls all around and break the chains that hold you down.
God, does he sound like John Anderson and Geddy Lee made a baby. I could sing from day one.
Heck. Fantastic. Wow.
Beautiful. Gorgeous.
Once the walls are falling down, and the little king back his crown. Look him in his eyes. Please bring him back his bride.
man.
Pride. How does it feel to cry? How does it feel to have to hide?
That's right.
Can I help you for a while? Pride. Just look me in the eyes. I thought you would be by my side, if only for a while.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. That was in the musical vault. God, where did they come from?
Came from Larry. I heard a mystery before, but that's it.
Thanks, Larry. I gotta go to work now. Bye,
The
everybody.
first kiss that we've ever done with the headphones on.
Oh, right.
No, keep
No,
them
I
on.
need another kiss. I need another one. That was very good.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Later. Thanks for being
Thank you
here.
so much. Awesome. Love them. We need a mystery party.